Hi everyone, now I'm starting my new session about this animal tissue, and that will be mainly targeting only one particular thing, that is your connective tissue. Now, as we discussed in the previous class, that connective tissue is responsible for just acting as a connection or a tight binding between some specific organs, and you can say that it establishes a link between them and it helps us to carry out some specific functions. Now, as I said, that connective tissue mainly has your three important things. One is your cells. Obviously it's a tissue, so it will be having cells. Then it has a matrix, that is the ground substance. Ground substance means if this is the ground or the bed, ground substance or the bed, and on top of it the cells will be there. I hope this thing is clear. And apart from this matrix, what else do you have? You have fibers. And this we had discussed that these fibers, they will not be present in your fluid connective tissue. So where will you find it? Straight here. That is the supportive or the fibrous connective tissue, where you have a lot of fiber associated elements, and they help to build a strong thing, a strong connection or the strong support in order to keep the things or the organs in place. So I hope this basic difference is clear. Now first targeting the fluid connective tissue. Now in fluid, why this term is fluid connective tissue? Simple, the matrix is fluid. It's a fluid substance. And for blood and lymph, what is it? It is the blood plasma. Both for blood and for lymph, the matrix is your blood plasma. Now, as far as the composition of blood is concerned, I think I have repeated it in one of my video lectures. If you want, you can prefer the first video lecture about, that is total about the blood composition, and then you have another video in class 10 where you will be studying about blood cells in a great detail. So but still I'll tell you for a very brief and quick recapitulation that your blood is composed of your cellular and non-cellular part. So in cellular, what will you have? You will have your RBC, the erythrocytes, WBC, the leukocytes, and then you have the platelets or the thrombocytes. And along with that, all these things, they are placed in a fluid matrix like substance, and that is your blood plasma, and that constitutes your non-cellular part along with lots of soluble proteins like the clotting factors and some extra substance like you have it inside your RBCs and all those things. Now coming back to lymphocytes. Now also sorry, not lymphocytes, I'll be talking about lymph. Okay, so now lymph is actually blood minus a bit of mathematics, blood minus RBC and platelets. Now ouch, out of those three things we missed one thing. What is that? The leukocytes or the WBCs. Now if I say this, that is blood minus all these things, means leukocytes plus the plasma. Clear? Now this thing constitutes the lymph, but apart from that, lymph is channelized through specific lymph organs or lymphatic organs. Lymphatic organs like you have your spleen, you have your thymus. So these are two lymphatic organs which you must have come across definitely while going through the book. Now what happens? They have a vast network of the lymphatic system, the lymphatic vessels inside your body. And what happens? The leukocytes, or specifically this lymph that is being channelized over here, the leukocytes that are present over there, they are actually called the lymphocytes. They are called the lymphocytes. Now if you just go through one of my video lectures about your blood cells, where I'm talking a great deal about your WBCs, you can find that while classifying the WBC, I had clearly mentioned in one of the part, especially that WBC is classified into granulocytes or granulocytes. So in granulocytes, you had two options or two further classifications. One is your monocyte and another one is your lymphocyte. So lymphocyte basically, by the definition if you go, they belong to that class of WBCs or that class of the leukocytes which are actually channelizing or circulating through the lymphatic vessels in the lymph. So what is the basic function? Since it's a type of WBC, then definitely the function is nothing but body immunity or the body defense mechanism. I hope it is clear. So lymphocyte is mainly associated with body defense mechanism, and definitely if this is the case, then lymph is clearly associated with your body defense system. So I hope this part is clear. What exactly is lymph? What are your lymph organs? And let me tell you where else you will find your lymphatic vessels. Lymphatic vessel you can also find inside your stomach. Yeah, inside your small intestine, you have a lot of finger-like projections, and they are basically there to increase the surface area for absorption. You will be seeing this when I will be teaching you the digestive system. Okay, yeah, it's there in class 9, you need not worry. Okay, so these are finger-like projections inside the entire small intestine, and this is basically to increase the surface area. And inside each such finger-like projection, you have a small further projecting structure, and that is actually a lymphatic vessel, and that is called the lacteal. So over there also lymph is circulating, and it is rendering a body defense mechanism over there for all those things that you eat outside without any tension. So say thanks to this thing. Yeah, I'm serious. Okay, enough of the jokes. Now coming to the supportive fibrous connective tissue. Now you see over here you have one is your proper, another one is your skeletal. Now talking about the skeletal. So in skeletal you have the bone and you have the cartilage. Now in bone, let me talk about bone. It is the hard, it is the extremely hard part present inside your body, because of which you are getting a very structural and good framework by the help of which you are able to walk, run, do whatever activities you like, no doubt. But this bone, if you take a section of this bone, it is actually made up of specific cells which are called osteocytes. So the cells of the bones, they are referred to as osteocytes, and the matrix is made up of mainly the minerals and the most important elements present in the matrix of the bone. Since it's a connective tissue, what is the matrix of the bone consisting of? You have great deal of calcium, phosphorus and magnesium. Okay, let's not mention calcium ions. I have great affinity for calcium ions. I don't know, by hook or by crook I write 2+. Anyway, so the elements that are present, they are calcium, phosphorus and magnesium. And when you observe the structure of the bone, you will see basically it is a canal-like system in which a particular canal is surrounded by many cells, and they are present in a matrix-like structure. The matrix is no doubt made up of these things, and these cells, they are your osteocytes, and this canal is called as your Haversian canal. So you can check in some of the books they have mentioned, in some they haven't, but sometimes they mention it only in the diagrams, but questions do come. What is the Haversian canal, or where is it located, and which type of tissue you will find it? So the answer is a bone. Okay, and bones, they have a lot more to say about, like they are having a special fluid substance inside them which is called your bone marrow, and this bone marrow is responsible in producing the most unbelievable thing, that is your blood cells. Yeah, the bone marrow present inside the bone is the responsible one which produces the blood cells of your blood, that is the RBC and WBC and platelets. I hope that is clear. Now it is very hard, no doubt, and difficult to break also, and once it breaks, very difficult to get joint back, depends upon the age, the bone mineral density. And that's all I have to deliver about the bones. Now coming to the cartilage. Now cartilage, it is in comparison to your bone, means if I say that bone is the father, then cartilage is the mother, the most flexible, sweet and easy to mold. Yeah, I'll exclude my mom because she's very difficult to handle. Okay, sorry mom. Okay, now coming to cartilage. Cartilage is like, it is made up of the cells called chondrocytes. Okay, the cells that make up the cartilage, they are called chondrocyte, and as I said, they are very flexible. They provide, or they do not provide rigidity to a particular place where they are found. They provide flexibility, and you will find them in a very clear, crystal clear places like your pinna you have in the front of your nose, that is the nose tip. So these are the places where you will find the cartilage. So basically they help providing flexibility in order to ensure that a smooth posture is maintained, and you can easily do your various activities. Okay, now coming to the proper connective tissue, that is your loose. First I'll target the loose one. Okay, so loose, first I'll tell you what is the areolar tissue. Now areolar tissue is actually called the packing tissue. Why? Because it lies just under your skin. It is responsible in binding the skin layers with the underlying muscles. Okay, and the matrix of this areolar tissue, it has a lot of collagen inside it. Reason, this collagen is responsible for providing that elasticity you have in your skin. Like you just pull it, it's not that easy, but when it comes to a very elderly person, you see the skin is very loose and you can easily lift it. Wrinkles, the appearance of wrinkles, it is because of this thing. So the matrix is basically made up of this particular protein, collagen, and along with it it has another protein called elastin. So these two are responsible to bring about the elasticity in your skin. Now, what are the cells that make up this areolar tissue? Very rarely you will find it in your textbook for class 9, but let me tell you, they are mainly made up of the fibroblasts. Okay, so they are made up of your fibroblasts, and I hope you're clear with the function. They act as the packing tissue and they keep the things organized and binded at a particular place. Now coming to adipose tissue. Adipose tissue, it is made up of cells called the adipocytes. Adipocytes means they are the normal cells, but as an animal cell they have everything, but one major component is your fat. Highly lipophilic. Lipophilic means they are attracted towards lipids of fats. So they have a good deal of storage of fats over here, and more the fat, more the number of adipocytes. And what is this major function? What is the major function of adipose tissue? Now in mammals, especially those who are hibernating, as well as in the newborn kids, we have a specific thing called the brown adipose tissue, or which we term as the brown fat. You must have seen some babies who are born, they are extremely chubby, and you just wish you have a skin like them. You are just very soft and all those. Let me not elaborate. So that is the reason, because of this, because of the presence of the brown fat in many places. What is the function? It acts as an energy reserve, means at the time of need it can be utilized to convert into the metabolic requirements, which helps it to, you can say, to meet the nutritional needs, the nutritional demands, and along with it, it provides heat insulation. That's why I mentioned about the hibernating mammals. The mammals which are hibernating, or you can say the estivating mammals, over there also you can see that it plays a major role in heat insulation. Okay, I got an excellent example for you. The polar bear. You have seen how fat, how chubby it is, and how is it going to survive in the Antarctic and the polar regions? Just think about it. So the major reason is the brown fat, or the brown adipose tissue. I hope the loose part is clear. I mean the loose connective tissue part. Okay, now coming back to the dense, That is very simple. You have two pretty things, that is your tendons and your ligaments. Now I'll tell you one trick to remember that what is the function. Tendons, it is responsible for keeping the bones and the muscles intact, bone and the skeletal muscles intact. So you can say MTB, muscles, tendons, bones, or muscles to bones. MTV, so instead of V you add B, so like that you can remember. So this is one silly trick for you to help. And then for ligaments you have BLB. BLB means bones connected to bones with the help of ligaments. So there is not much detail insight into this tendons and the ligaments. You have to just remember the major function, that is muscle to bones, tendons, and bones to bones, ligaments, BLB and MTB. So for any more doubts you have regarding this connective tissue, you can ask the questions in the comment section. I hope this thing I have tried my level best to clear it out, and do not freak out. I'll try my best to answer all your questions regarding this. And for the next video session, most probably I'll be covering your muscular tissue and the nervous tissue, and after that I'll be getting into a deep detailed insight into the epithelial tissue. Till then, stay tuned.